Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
I want to take a moment to thank so many of you who have used our Buy Me a Coffee function on the webpage, and thanks to you, I was able to acquire a large number of Gunsmoke shows, and we'll be hearing some of those as the summer goes on. Here, this episode was from June 5th, 1954, William Conrad starring as Matt Dillon, the episode about the Blacksmith.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on west, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The transcribed story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
I sure do thank you for that breakfast, Mr. Dillon.
Forget it, Chester.
My steak, eggs, potatoes, and a glass of beer. Why, that could last a man clean to noon dinner.
I guess it could.
Mr. Dillon, you figure Emil will have your horse shod by the time we get there?
He should.
You think he's done him any good?
He's a good blacksmith, Chester. If he trimmed up his feet right before he reset those shoes, he ought to be fine.
Funny the way he took throwing his foreleg.
Yeah. Looks like there's somebody else waiting.
Yeah. Gil Tallman, ain't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm telling you something else, Dutchman. You can whistle for your money. You won't get it from me.
All right. I don't make you pay.
Morning after I got him home, he was so lame he couldn't walk. I'd have break your head.
Please, if it was my fault, something I did wrong, don't pay me anything.
That seems fair enough, Tolman.
Oh. Well, Marshal, this fool Dutchman messed up my pony, and then he wants to get paid on top of it.
Well, maybe it's a stone bruise.
It ain't no stone bruise, Marshal. It's pinched feet, that's what.
Is that the horse you're talking about?
Why, no, he's back at the place. This is another one.
How about my horse, Emil? You finished with him?
All finished. Now he walks good.
Fine. Well, how much I owe you?
$2 all right, Marshal?
Sure. Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Chester, you got up behind. I'll ride you back to the office. Come on. There we go.
Marshal.
Yeah.
Mr. Tallman told lie.
Oh?
Yeah, the horse he ride just now is the one I shoot 2 days ago. You can see he's not lame.
He didn't seem to be.
There's sure nothing wrong the way he travels.
Emil, why's Tolman hoorahing you, huh? Do you know?
Maybe because I'm German. Maybe something else. Who knows?
Well, I'll ask him to settle his bill with you if you like.
No, Marshal.
Well, you won't get rich if you aren't paid, Emil.
Money is good, yeah, but better to have no enemies.
All right, Emil. Well, Chester, hang on.
Get out! Mercy on it! Mr. Dillon?
What, Chester?
Did you know that Lily Langtry's going to be here in a couple of weeks?
Oh, how did you know?
Mr. Hipple over at the Opera House told me. And in case I don't get to see her, he's going to let me have one of them big picture posters.
He is.
Yes, sir, the Jersey Lily. My, I sure would like to be tall hog at that trough. Oh, hello, Matt and Chester.
Hello, Doc.
Hello, Doc. Hey, did you know Lily Langtry's going to be here, Doc?
Oh, of course, Chester. I already paid Hipple for a chair.
Oh.
Is this all you two got to do? Just sit around and talk?
Well, things are quiet, Doc. We can't always have a few shot-up cowboys just to keep you busy. Besides, we're waiting for the evening stage.
Wish I had the loan of $1. Maybe I'd get to see the Lily, too.
Chester, here.
Oh, no, sir.
Here's $1. Now, will you be quiet?
Well, sir, I sure do thank you, Mr. Dillon.
Marshal Dillon,
Oh, Emil, come in.
I just come by to see how your horse is.
Oh, fine, Emil, fine. I think that shoe fixed him up.
Good.
Hey, you're all dressed up, Emil. You got your Sunday clothes on.
Yeah, I'm meeting stage 5 o'clock.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, got new wife coming.
Oh. You got what?
Is right.
Well, I didn't know you were married, Emil.
Oh, not yet married. I will get married after she arrives.
Well, forevermore. Who is it, Emil?
Well, I am doing good now and want to have wife and children. But girls here in Dodge don't want husband. They like better the Texas Trail and Longhorn.
Well, there's a lot of excitement and money to be had working around a saloon, eh?
That's true. So I answer advertisement in St. Louis paper.
You did what?
Advertisement says young German woman wants husband. So I write to the paper and say, come to Dodge City, be wife of Emil Volheta.
And she's coming in on this evening stage.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, that's just fine, Emil.
You got a place for her to stay?
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Green at the Dodge House.
Oh.
She'll stay there until I get a place ready behind my smithy.
It's here. The stage just pulled up the other side of the plaza.
Oh.
Well, good luck, Emil.
Oh. Marshal, you and Doc and Chester come too. I want you to meet Gretchen.
We'll be proud, Emil.
Yeah.
You know, funny thing, I'm not afraid of anything. But now, my stomach is sick.
Yeah, there's only one woman getting off the stage. That must be her.
Yeah?
She's a pretty little thing, ain't she?
Well, go on, Emil. She's standing there waiting. Oh, we'll stay here. Go on.
Well,
Well, go on, man. Go on. There's plenty of time to be nervous later.
well. Grüß Gott.
Guten Abend.
Ich bin Emil Volheta. Ich bin fröhlich und glücklich, dass Sie gekommen sind.
Herr Volheta?
Ich hoffe, die Reise war nicht
My,
so schwer.
listen to that.
Nein, ganz gar nicht. Ich bin erfreut, hier
Makes you wonder how they can understand each other, don't it? Talking that way.
Oh, Chester, for heaven's sake.
Liebe Leute, ich werde Sie Ihnen
Oh, look, he's bringing her over here.
sprechen Sie Englisch, Fräulein Gretchen?
Ja, natürlich.
Ach, gut. Marshal Dillon, Gentlemen, Miss Gretchen Schiller.
How do you do, gentlemen?
How do?
How do you do, ma'am? Welcome to Dodge, Miss Schiller.
Thank you, Marshal.
I hope you'll be happy here. And you certainly got a fine man.
I know much about him already. We have written.
Now, Marshal, I will take Gretchen to the hotel. Kommen Sie. Wir gehen jetzt. Gretchen, komm her.
She seems a little scared, doesn't she, Matt?
Now, Doc, she took a chance on coming out here.
Yeah, well, so did Emil. Getting married to a mail-order bride like buying a pig in a poke. You can't be sure till it's too late.
Oh, for the... No. Come on, Matt. This is an excuse for some sort of a celebration. I'll buy you a glass of rye. Hey, you too, Chester.
All right, Doc, since you're buying.
You know, I was just thinking, she's so little and Emil's so big, I hope he don't take it into his mind to beat her none.
Emil's about the gentlest man I've ever known, Chester.
And besides, Chester, men don't always beat their wives.
My pa did.
Well. Sam, set out some glasses and a bottle of rye with me.
So then when the stage comes in a few minutes ago, I see where he gets himself a gal bought out of a newspaper.
Gil Tallman
One
again,
of them
Mr. Dillon.
foreigners is all we need around here. Now there's two. We ought to tar and feather the both of them and send them on their way.
Doc, you and Chester wait here.
Tar and feathers are too good for foreigners that are trying to take over the town. You're right.
Tallman, how drunk are you?
I ain't at all.
You talk like a man that's been drinking.
Ain't a man allowed to say what he thinks around Dodge no more, Marshal?
Not when he's thinking that way, Tallman.
This is between Woolhater and me. Has nothing to do with the law.
It's got a lot to do with me, Tallman. Now you drink up and get out. And you take Spooner and Willie here with you.
Just a minute.
Now you listen to me. All of you. Woolhater's trying to mind his own business. And if there's any trouble, I'll know who started it. Then he'll go to jail.
You saying you're going to lock me up?
Tallman, if Emil Woolhater ever gets mad enough, he'll kill you with his bare hands. Now leave him and his girl alone.
Girl. Why, she's probably nothing but a...
All right, Tallman. You and Spooner carry Willie out of here.
Okay, Marshal. We'll go. Just remember, I got a score to settle with that blacksmith.
From June 5th, 1954, Gunsmoke, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station. More of Gunsmoke, June 5th, 1954, Blacksmith.
By the end of the next week, Emil Woolhater had finished fixing up the little room out behind his smithy, and the week after that, he married Gretchen Schiller. On their wedding night, they made quite a picture, standing there by the fire out behind the smithy. The great giant of a man and his tiny little bride, smiling and happy. Doc had come along, too, and he was busy with his fiddle. People were laughing and eating and drinking. Somebody had brought along a barrel of beer, and there were hard-boiled eggs and pickled pig's feet, roast chicken, and smoked beef. Some of the women had brought sugar cakes and dried apple pie, and some of the men, whiskey. It was good fun, until Tallman and his sidekicks arrived.
Well, I didn't think he'd show up here, Mr. Dillon.
No, neither did I.
Where's the dancing?
He's kind of drunk.
Yeah, so are Willie and Spooner.
Willie, go find yourself a gal. You too, Spooner. Me, I got one waiting. I'm gonna dance with this little old gal. How about it, Mrs. Woolhater?
Emil?
Come on, gal, dance. He don't care.
Emil?
We are all friends here. But
Nobody's dancing right now, Tallman. Why don't you forget it, huh?
Well, if it ain't the marshal.
You are welcome here, Mr. Tallman. There's food on the table and drink.
I don't want nothing to drink. I want to dance. Doc, start that fiddle playing. Come on, you. We're gonna dance.
Maybe you drink too much to dance.
Don't you lay a hand on me.
Why don't you just go home, Tallman, and sleep it off?
Me and Gretchen's gonna dance, that's why. Come on.
I'm sorry to do this, Mr. Tallman. Put me down. But now we put you in the water closet.
Put me down.
Cool you off.
You stupid ox. Put me down.
All right. There you go.
Well, Well, that'll quiet him some, Emil.
Better than hurting him, I think.
You filthy Dutchman. I'll pay you back for that. Come on, Willie. Spooner, let's go.
Everybody, have fun. No troubles on wedding night of Gretchen and Emil.
And there wasn't any more trouble that night, or in the week that followed. I kept my eyes open, but there was no sign of Tallman or his 2 wranglers, and Dodge was pretty peaceful. Then late one night, trouble did come, but not the way I'd expected it. I'd fallen asleep on a cot in the office.
Mr. Dillon? Mr. Dillon.
What?
Wake up, Mr. Dillon.
What's the matter? What's the matter, Jim?
There's a fire.
What?
It's the blacksmith shop. I come as quick as I could.
Well, is it bad,
Yes,
Chester?
A bunch of the men are out there now.
Where's Emil?
I don't know. Nobody's seen him.
How about Gretchen?
Miss Kitty's with her. She's pretty upset. By the time we got bucket lines going, the place just about burned to the ground.
Well, how did it start, do you know?
No, sir, I don't. But a shack like that flares up pretty quick. They didn't have time to get anything out, beds or tables or the like.
Well, there doesn't seem to be much left but a pile of coal.
So there ain't. Oh, there's Miss Kitty. Over there. And Gretchen.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt.
There's Wolhater. Kitty.
Oh, Marshal. It's gone. All gone. And Emil worked so hard.
Now, it's going to be all right, Miss Wolhater. Kitty, why don't you take her on over to your place, huh?
That's a good idea. Come on, honey.
Oh, no. I can't. Emil will be back. He'll worry.
Well, the marshal can tell him where you are.
Where is your husband, Gretchen?
He was called away
Oh? When?
a few hours ago. A man came for him, said he was needed.
Well, who was it?
He was one of the men who came our wedding night.
Oh, she means the night of the chivalry, Matt.
Yeah. It must have been Willie or Spooner.
Yeah, that's right.
Gretchen! Gretchen, Liebchen, bist du beleidigt?
Oh, Emil, the God. It was so long still.
Emil, it burned too fast. The men couldn't get water to it.
Yeah, I know, Marshal. I've heard, but Gretchen is safe.
Yeah.
That is important.
I'm going to take her with me, Mr. Woolhader.
You are very kind, Miss Kitty. Right now, she needs a woman.
Yeah. Come on, Gretchen. Let's go.
Yeah, all right.
Marshal, I think somebody set that fire.
Oh, why do you think so, Emil?
Somebody wanted me away from my place. So he told me I was needed down the trail toward Willow Bend. But there was no team of horses with thrown shoes.
Well, maybe you just missed him in the dark.
Well, didn't the man who came for you wait to lead you back?
No, he rode on. By the time I dressed, he was gone.
Did you know him, Emil?
Yeah. It was the man Spooner. He works with Tallman.
Now, he works for Tallman.
Yeah, and Tallman's just mean enough to do it.
He is.
Look, Emil, if you'll say that Tallman did it, I'll have him in jail by morning.
No, Marshal. No, this I settle myself.
I won't have any killing, Emil.
No. There will be no killing, Marshal, but for the first time, I am getting very angry. Not so much for me, but for little Gretchen.
Oh, what are you going to do?
I will wait. And when I see Tallman, I will teach him lesson.
You want more coffee, Mr. Dillon?
No, thanks, Chester.
Did you know Emil Woolhader's been just standing across the plaza there all morning?
He's waiting, Chester.
Waiting?
Yeah, it's Saturday, and Tallman always comes to town Saturday for his week's supplies. He probably figures if he didn't come in this morning, people would suspect he was afraid to.
Yep. By golly, Emil's still there. Just standing. You think Tallman knows Emil's after him?
I don't know, Chester.
Mr. Dillon?
Yeah?
He's coming. Tallman's coming. And he's got Willie Sachs and Spooner with him.
Come on, Chester, let's step out onto the porch, huh? I think we need a little air.
Yes, sir. Hey, look. Look at the three of them. Walking right down the middle of the plaza.
Yeah. Tallman, come over here a minute, huh?
Why, sure, Marshal. What do you want?
Tallman?
That crazy Dutch.
All right, Tallman, you and your men drop your guns.
Well, now, wait a minute, Marshal.
Drop them, I said.
June 5th, 1954. Gunsmoke on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll hear the conclusion, and another episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues following these messages from your favorite radio station. Just going to take a minute here to tell you about the big savings going on now, the clearance sale at mypillow.com. And you know, I've talked about how in my office I have a pair of my slippers, and they're really comfortable, and they're on clearance right now. The mypillow.com slippers, $25 a pair, limit 10. And I would buy 3 or 4 more pairs. Unfortunately, they're out of my size. They also have sheets, pillowcases, clothing items, all on special right now. Go to mypillow.com, click on the clearance tab at the top of the page, use my promo code Wyatt, or call 1-800-928-4715. Limited sizes remaining in the MyPillow slippers, limited colors on other items. mypillow.com, clearance tab, promo code Wyatt, 1-800-928-4715. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox here on your favorite radio station. Now the conclusion of Gunsmoke from June 5th, 1954, The Blacksmith.
All right, Tallman, you and your men drop your guns.
Well, now, wait a minute, Marshal.
Drop them, I said. That's better. Now, gentlemen, I think the blacksmith wants to talk with you.
What?
Mr. Tallman. I don't mind when you don't pay me for work. I don't mind when you're a little drunk. But when you do something to upset my wife, I mind very much.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to fight you, Tallman, and hurt you.
You lay a hand on me and Spooner and Willie here will tear you to pieces.
I don't want to fight other men, but if they try to stop me, it's too bad.
You are crazy.
No, just very mad.
I'll see that they come at you only one at a time, Emil.
Please, Marshal, you stay out of it, out. If they want to come at me at the same time, let them.
Boys, get the Dutchman.
Tallman.
Now, wait, old lady, wait.
Tallman.
Wait.
Tallman. Tallman. Tallman.
All right, Emil, that's enough.
Tallman.
Emil. Emil, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Chester, run up and get the doctor.
I'm right here, Matt. I saw the whole thing. Oh, my, what a beautiful fight. What a beautiful thing.
All right, some of you men there, will you help Doc carry these 3 men up to his
That's
place?
right, young fella. Get the feet there. Get careful now, careful. Watch their heads against the stairs. Get that man's face out of the dust.
My gracious alive, I never seen nothing like it.
Yeah. Well, Emil, you want Doc to have a look at you?
No worse than shoeing Missouri mule. No, Marshal. I go to Gretchen. It is time we start building new home.
Gunsmoke, transcribed under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was specially written for Gunsmoke by Mr. MacDonald, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Gene Bates, Vic Perrin, and Luke Krugman. Harley Bear as Chester, Howard McNear as Doc, and Georgia Ellis as Kitty. George Walsh speaking. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke.
In addition to the cast, you have to admit that conceptually and all of the came down from William and Robeson, and it was just, and Norm MacDonald, they did such a wonderful job of conceiving of just a gritty, bare, out there Western show, and a realistic Western show. What was sad is, and this is nothing against James Arness. People think I'm ragging on James Arness and Milburn Stone. Milburn Stone probably would have been close to being a country doctor in real life. But James Arness was just too pretty. He was just too pretty, in too good a shape. I think William Conrad, even though he was a little pudgy, it made sense. Because by that point in time, he had been, a U.S. Marshal for a while, and, a little soft life there. So you could explain that. Okay, Gunsmoke. And thanks to all of our friends who contributed to the Buy Me a Coffee campaign for us to acquire additional collections of Gunsmoke. June 5th, 1954, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Johnny Dollar next. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we go from Howard McNear as Doc Adams in Gunsmoke to Howard McNear as Indestructible Mike. And this is it's kind of a fun show, even though attempted murder is all over the place. From June 5th, 1956, this is part 2 of the 5-part Yours Truly Johnny Dollar story, The Indestructible Mike Matter. This episode was originally broadcast June 5th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
John, this message I found when I came in.
Yeah, Pete. Somebody took a couple of shots at your $50,000 client, Mike Flynn.
Well, will he die?
From the looks of things last night, he may pull through, in spite of the 2 slugs in him.
I hope so. Do you know who did it?
No idea, but I'm going to try to talk to him.
Have you talked to the beneficiary?
Not yet. First, I want whatever information I can get from Mike, if he's still alive.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar, location New York, New York. Attention, Peter Branson, Lakeside Life and Casualty Insurance Company. Following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Indestructible Mike Matter. Expense account item 6, 55 cents. Taxi to the neighborhood of the Glad Hand Rescue Mission, where Daddy Bill, the general factotum, had promised to take the best of care of Michael Jeremiah Flynn. He'd given Mike a room to himself on the 2nd floor. And what a room. What wallpaper was left hung in shreds from the cracked plaster. The shades on the dirty windows were tattered and torn. A single bare fly-speck light bulb hung on a cord from the ceiling. The floor was bare, and the only furniture was a battered chest of drawers, an ancient washstand with a cracked pitcher and bowl, and a sagging iron bed on which old Mike Flynn lay.
Come in. Come in here.
Hi.
Well, you must be the man who helped me into the mission last night.
Yeah. My name's Johnny Dollar. Come up to see how you're making out.
Well, I'm much obliged to you, Johnny. I'm real obliged to you.
Well, how are you feeling this morning?
Me? Oh, I'm fine. Never felt better. Sit down.
Well, what did the doctor that Daddy Bill got for you have to say?
The doctor for me? Oh, now, Johnny, you must be joking.
Joking? After you had a couple of slugs tear through you? Here, let me help you.
Oh, you want to see him? Sure. Now, wait a minute. Now, just look for yourself here. You see? They just went through my side here, in the front and out the back.
Holy.
Oh, say, aren't they healing up nicely?
Why, that one couldn't have missed your heart by more than 3 inches.
But it did. Yes, it did. Not nearly so close as this scar, though. Want to see this scar? Look at it right here.
Hey, was that a bullet wound, too?
No, Johnny. That was just an old ice pick or something.
Huh?
Somebody in the crowd during that fire down at the Battery last. Oh, wasn't that a beautiful fire, Johnny? Did you see that?
Oh, but what did these slugs do to you inside? You must be...
To me? Oh, not a thing. Well, I'm so durable.
Wait a minute. Did you say there was another attempt on your life last week?
No, of course not. Just an accident like those shots last night.
You think that was an accident?
Huh? Why, don't you?
Do you know who fired them?
Oh, Johnny, I haven't the least idea.
Well, where did it happen? I was right here in the Mission, and I didn't hear any shots.
Oh, dear, no. I was down near my private place.
Where's that? Where's that, Mike?
Well, I'll tell you, Johnny. It's this way. Daddy Bill and the others here at the Mission are real nice to me. Oh, they're real nice. You can see by this lovely private room that they fixed up for me.
Yeah.
And they'd like for me to stay here all the time. I guess Daddy Bill thinks if I'm here most of the time, I might not drink so much and keep getting into those kind of... Say, do you ever enjoy a little drink, Johnny?
Well, on occasion. But you were going to tell me...
Sure. Oh, here. Now, I've got a little bottle tucked under the mattress here somewhere. Here it is.
Oh, what under the sun is that? That color, that pink?
Yes, that's my favorite, that pink. Straight whiskey costs so much. Even when I have the money now and then. And you know something? I like a little bit more kick in mine. I guess it's kind of a hangover from Prohibition days. So I mix a little kick into it. Here, Johnny, I want you to try this.
Well,
Go ahead. Oh, you'll like this. Oh, what a wallop.
Well... What the Samuel?
Yes, what that sterno. That's what I add to it. Just a little bit of sterno.
Mike, this stuff will kill you.
Oh, I've been drinking that for years. Look at me, the picture of health.
Oh,
now,
Mike,
just take a little
listen to me.
sip.
I'm going to get you a doctor.
No, you're not. I won't stand for it.
But you've been shot.
Oh, no. Just gave me a little twinge or two last night, but now I feel fine.
Well, you fell flat on your face when you came in here.
Oh, now listen, Johnny. Don't you tell Daddy Bill, but I'm afraid it wasn't the bullets last night. It was, overindulgence.
Oh, brother, I give up.
No, don't say that, Johnny.
Oh, all right, then how did it happen?
Well, I was on my way back here when the car drove by.
Oh?
Yeah, it sounded to me like a couple of backfires or two, but then I felt this little sting on my side. And that's it.
And you call that an accident?
Well, of course, the men in the car were probably just having a little friendly argument.
How many men?
Well, I'm not sure. I think there were only 2 of them. I waved at them.
What kind of a car?
Black.
Well, what make, could you tell?
Well, it was shiny and it was new. See, I wish I had a car, Johnny.
Look, Mike, I'm going to level with you.
Oh?
I'm an insurance investigator.
Insurance? Well, say, that's interesting, John. Say, let's have a little drink on that while you tell me about that.
No, thanks. And there isn't much to tell, except that I'm here to try to save your life, among other things.
Well, no, I don't understand. I'm getting along all right. I've been living it up here in the Bowery for years.
Maybe you were getting along okay until you took out that big insurance policy.
Yeah, say, wasn't that nice of Mr. Cosgrave? Now, all my life, I wanted to have some life insurance. You know, it gives you a kind of feeling of importance and security. So when he came down here one night and I told him that... Why, say, his eyes just lit up, and he said he was going to make me a present of some insurance.
Who is this Cosgrave? How much do you know about him?
Oh, he's wealthy. I know that much about him. He has a beautiful car and a chauffeur.
Does he come down here often?
Oh, now and then. Just now and then.
Why?
Now, I've often wondered about that, Johnny. So one time I asked Daddy Bill, and he said that years ago, when Mr. Cosgrave was young, he came to the Mission for help, and Daddy Bill gave it to him.
Well, what does he do when he's here?
Oh, he brings some food for the brothers. The brothers, that's what Daddy Bill calls us. And some money, and he always gives jobs to a couple of men who've drifted in here.
What kind of jobs, Mike?
You know, that's something I don't know. You see, they never come back here again.
Maybe it's because they can't.
What's that? What'd you say, Johnny?
Mike, I'm going to give it to you straight. To me, the whole thing smells to high heaven. To me, this Cosgrave sounds like a racketeer.
Oh, no,
I may be
no.
wrong. I'll know better when I meet him. And I intend to do that as soon as possible. But right this minute, I bet that he comes down here for only one purpose. to recruit help for some sort of illegal job.
Oh, that's a terrible thought, Johnny.
When he heard you say you'd like insurance, he jumped at the chance. And why not? Let you name him as beneficiary and then have you knocked off.
Oh, no, John.
That ice pick in your side was no accident, Mike. No more than the shots at you last night.
But he's been so nice.
Sure, of course he has. He can afford to. After all, your body's worth $50,000 to him. And that's what you're going to be, Mike, just a body. Unless I can do something about
Oh,
it.
and such a nice man, too, really.
How has he been getting this money to you?
In an envelope.
By mail?
Usually it's just left here at the mission.
By whom?
Well, nobody ever seems to know. It's just a plain envelope. It's dropped in the mail.
No
It's
return address?
No. But I'm sure it comes from Mr. Cosgrave. Say, come to think about it. Say, there was one due yesterday. Every Monday, you know. But Daddy Bill said it didn't arrive.
Well, maybe it'll be here today. And you know something? I'd like to see it delivered.
No, you and I. You can't kid me, Johnny. You'd like to see who delivers it. Oh, say, why don't we go downstairs and wait and see?
No, easy there, Mike. You're a sick man.
Oh,
You can't...
stop talking that way, sick. Up we go.
Oh, no, you can't. All right. Here, let me give you a hand.
No. I'm all right. Oh, say, look at that. Daddy Bill left my shoes here by the bed for me.
Oh, brother, now I've seen everything.
I put my shoe in here. That's kind of it. There. Now, there we are, all dressed.
I don't know how you do it, Mike.
Shall we go downstairs?
Sure. Lead the way.
All right, here. Well, the envelope should be there, because it always comes in the morning when there's nobody here. You know, when Daddy Bill's out shopping and just the door to the assembly room is open for any poor lost soul who wants to come in and wait for the chow line to open. Well, we'll see. And then we'll go to my private place. You see, there are two things I like, Johnny.
Yeah?
Solitude and crowds of people. Oh, look at there, Johnny. Look at there. There's mail there by the door. You see? Here's my envelope. And my name's on it, too.
Wait, Mike.
It's all right. You see there, Johnny? A $20 bill. Whee!
Let me have that envelope for possible proof.
Oh, yes. Here you are, Johnny. Now we can go out, you and I, and we can have a real... Well, now, Johnny, look at that. A package for me, too.
Hey, easy, Mike. Let me have that.
No. I know what you're thinking. An infernal machine or something.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
But you didn't hear it gurgle. Oh. Well, look at there, Johnny. Well, joyous be, one for you and one for me.
Easy, Mike. I want to carry this one in the wrapping paper.
Oh, fingerprints, huh?
That's right, Mike. I'm going to take you back upstairs and lock you in your room. You're to stay there. Let nobody in, not even Daddy Bill, until I get back here.
But
do what I say. And just remember that I'm trying to save your life. Item 7, 270, cab fare uptown to the 18th Precinct Station. The lab boys took over 3 hours while Randy Singer and I talked about cases that we'd handled together in the past. I asked him to dig up whatever he could for me on John Wesley Cosgrave, the man named as beneficiary of Mike's insurance policy. This he promised to do. Finally, a slim, intelligent-looking lieutenant walked in and handed Randy a neatly typed report of the lab's findings in connection with the liquor bottle and envelope I'd given them. Oh, Randy?
Not much, I'm afraid, Johnny. Apparently the only prints were those made by the old man and you.
Proof that somebody's been pretty darn careful not to be identified.
Yeah, that's what... Hey, wait a minute.
Huh?
Seal on the bottle had been tampered with, so the lab boys opened it. That bottle contained enough wood alcohol to kill an army. Now, if that old boy drinks the way you
Good
said...
Lord, Randy, see you later. Item 8, $10 even. Taxi fare and tip back to the Glad Hand rescue mission. I don't know how the driver did it, but he skinned through practically every red light on the route. And I soundly cursed myself for having left Mike with the other bottle. The place was apparently still empty when I pounded up the stairs to the second floor in Mike's room. At least he kept his room locked as ordered. Mike, are you all right? Mike! He was stretched out on the old iron bed, his face drawn even whiter than the pillow on which his head rested. The half-empty bottle lay where he dropped it on the floor beside him. And I could have sobbed for the stupid, careless, unthinking way in which I...
Ooh.
Mike!
Johnny, what a hangover this is going to be.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, the would-be beneficiary of Indestructible Mike turns out to be a very interesting and dangerous man. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. It is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote tonight's story. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
Straight wood alcohol. He drank most of the bottle, and all he's going to have is a hangover. Oy vey. June 5th, 1956, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Love Howard McNear. Love him so much in this part. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows, learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me, find our social media links, and you can also buy me a coffee. The Buy Me a Coffee money helps us acquire additional classic radio collections and helps us maintain our distribution channels so you can keep hearing us here on your favorite radio station. Have yourself a great day. Tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.